Thank you. Commissioners, good afternoon. You do have a quorum.
All right, welcome everyone. We'll go ahead and start with pre-commission. Do we have any announcements or any issues anyone would like to bring up? Any comments or concerns about the agenda? All right, hearing none. Director Wong.
Well, thank you, President and Commissioners. Again, good afternoon. Lots to talk about today, so I'll just get started. First off, again, I'm always pleased and honored to share a few insights as to where we are meeting, again, your 7 operational requirements that you have set forth for the district. As you know, your monthly night meeting follows closely after our monthly review for metrics, so that is what I'm going to be talking again about today. So beginning with the Chief of Staff, ACHG has increased its commuter ride alternate transit routes from 65 to 68. We reported 65 last week, and that's from last month's update, and we are supporting 314 passengers on a daily basis. In August, we displaced 346,057 single vehicle miles, and as such removed 271 tons of carbon dioxide. As we shared with you last month, 83% of ACHG's van pools are in service compared to only 40% those van pools nationwide at the same time last year. And what's always important to the team, 100% of all team member reimbursement payments were processed and paid within the 7 business days. For communications, in August, we received 256 teleces and answered 86% of them, which is up from 80% last month, within the first week, regardless of the impact that the COVID-19 precautions and new operations that are consistently presented to your staff. To date, we received and answered 2,195 teleces for 2020. ACHD's website had 16,870 interactive sessions, slightly down from the 23,000 sessions in July. The website also received 37,206 views, down from the 50,000 that we received last month. As you know, that was the budget area. What's interesting is that 45% of those teles responses were new customers, and with 55 returning customers being the other part of it. We ended August with 4,842 likes on social media, which is a whopping 2 up from July that I reported to you last time. Finally, we are still holding a virtual open house for the Eagle and State Street project, and our comment period is coming to an end this Friday. We are still encouraging the public to comment via our website, as there is a link there for public comments and feedback. For HR, as I shared with you last month, our hiring average for the last 8 years is about 66 hires per year. Currently, we are tracking an average with 62 new hires so far for the fiscal year. Of those hires, 23 were internal and 40 were external. Of note, this week we are executing 31 interviews for the week, which is an all-time high. Year-to-date work-related personal injuries, commissioners, and accidents stand at 5, which is up 1 from last month, with our not-to-exceed goal of 8. And the ACHG vehicle accidents stand at 2, with no change from last month, which are, again, our not-to-exceed goal is 8. Team member retention stands at 94%. Compliance with safety training continues at 99% complete. Harassment prevention and diversity training continues at 99% complete. Of note, our annual biometric screening continues to be a success. We have completed both sessions, and what I think is always important and why we stress this so much with our team members, and I won't go into specifics, but based on the biometric screening program that you have allowed us and instituted to do, several members of our teams have discovered things that they were not aware of. And if those things would have not been caught in the biometric screening process, they would have evolved into very serious things downstream. I'm glad to report that based on that biometric screening, those have been caught and have already been fixed. So that is a great, that's one of the great results of the biometric screenings and the healthcare programs that we have here at the Ada County Highway District. Finally, we are ensuring, and I've shared this with you, that the ACHE families continue to be well informed about the governor's Strong Families, Strong Student initiatives, and we will be assisting all as needed when the October application begins. As a matter of fact, Commissioners, on this payroll period, each pay envelope received the note that I sent out to the team. Again, you also received that, just to remind them and let them know what the standards are and what this initiative is all about. For legal, our July published request turnaround was 3.1 business days, and our legal task turnaround time was 8.4 days. To date, we have collected $61,538.07 in restitutions. For maintenance, the total maintenance cost per mile for July, for August was $16,524 or $7,814 per lane mile, for a total of $40,451,506. We filled 100% of the 101 potholes reported to ACHD this last month, within 24 hours. And year to date, maintenance has filled 1,685 potholes, all within 24 hours of notice. Of great news, as always, we have completed 72% of the historical maintenance backlog. As you recall, we focused on this since we deferred chip sealing till next year, which is up from the 60% that maintenance had completed last month. And we expect to be complete by December 31st. The ACHD Sheriff's Labor Detail contributed 1,047 hours of support in July, and as you know, this partnership saves the taxpayers over $195,000 per year in ACHD wages. And as important, ACHD duck saves remain at 18 year to date. For our Development and Technical Services group, year to date, and here are the numbers. We have completed 961 plan submittals, assessed 175 commercial impact fees, issued 5,023 permits, held 111 subdivision pre-construction briefings, completed 916 development applications, finalized 6,297 line locations, worked 645 signal trouble calls and 183 after-hour calls. We've striped 1,756.3 line miles. We completed 726 pavement markings, installed 11,800 reflective pavement markers. We made 2,403 traffic signs. So we've installed 4,017. We've worked 481 traffic signal trouble calls, and the list goes on and on and on. Reviewed 4,270 traffic control and 110 special events permits. As you can see, the team is incredibly busy. Our signal in-service rate stands at 99.99%, with 15 signals were out for 14.5 hours in the month of August. Of note, 92.4% of ACHC's principal arterials are at level of service E or better. With our continued focus on pedestrian safety, we are pleased to report that we have 90 Red Before Ped signal programs up and running, up from the 64 that I reported last month. We also continue our government-private partnership testing and development regarding the hands-free pedestrian signal implementation. And of course, we'll implement those into our signals when everybody's ready to go. As I also shared with you last month, ACHG's ADA Advisory Committee has elected to establish 2 working groups that will focus on roundabout and digital accessibility. The committee would like to use these groups to have more in-depth conversations with the ACH staff, where collaboration and education are at the forefront, reduce the amount of misinformation about the issues, and identify opportunities of improved accessibility. The Roundabout Working Group will develop recommendations for improving the accessibility and safety of existing and future roundabouts in Ada County for pedestrians with disabilities. The focus for the Digital Accessibility Group is to identify and prioritize resources, opportunities, and processes to improve the accessibility of digital communications. Your staff will be in full support and partnership for both working groups and we look forward to our advisory committee finalizing each of the committee members to start up both important initiatives. Finally, I have shared the proposed bulb-out decision tree for capital maintenance projects with the president of ACH's Pedestrian Advisory Group. You saw this last night. I understand that this will be on their October meeting for discussion and recommendations and collaboration. For plans and projects, as with last month's update, 20 of our largest projects are in the green. The average pavement condition index remains at the very top good category with 2 arterial lane miles out of 1,447, 5 collector lane miles out of 695, and 24 residential lane miles out of 3,200 in the poor category. We have completed 9 new safe routes to school projects, up from last month's reported 7, year-to-date for a total of 100 since 2009. Year-to-date, we have repaired 7,644 linear feet of sidewalk and 114 pedestrian ramps. Year-to-date, we have built 45,047 linear feet of new sidewalks with 212 new pedestrian ramps at a cost of $2,238,000 and change for August. We have established 337.5 bicycle lane miles with 206.85 of those in Boise. Right-of-way has cleared 198 parcels year-to-date. Commissioners, you will be briefed on 21 October on our most recent ADA evaluation undertaken by Plans and Projects and our consultants. As you know, the 2019 ACHD adopted an ADA self-evaluation and transition plan for achieving compliance with the Americans with Disabilities Act in the public right-of-way. The transition plan recommends periodically updating the existing inventory, including an accessibility assessment of the digital curb ramp inventory and the pedestrian signal inventory. In fulfilling this initiative, inventory teams receive training on the latest ADA requirements and data collection procedures specific to this project. Data pertaining to the compliance of the curb ramps and the push buttons at each location was collected during the 2020 spring and summer timeframe and will be used to update a transition plan that will serve as a baseline for future pedestrian facility improvements. A total of 6,338 digital curb ramps and 2,888 pedestrian push buttons were identified and evaluated for compliance as part of this project. Analysis of the data shows that 42.7% of the curb ramps evaluated presented no deficiencies. 23% of the poles evaluated did not have a pedestrian push button present, and of the 2,224 locations that did have push buttons, 21.4% have no deficiencies. Again, you will receive the formal presentation of this important item on 21 October. For an update on the Commissioner's directed GAP projects supporting pedestrian safety. Of the 21 directed projects, 8 have been completed with an additional 6 under construction, which is up from the 4 reported last month. Additionally, the pedestrian signal at Boise Avenue in Bergeson will be turned on next week. 2 more have now been started, and 3 that went out to bid in August. We expect their bid results to be opened on the 25th of September. 1 is in the design phase, and 2 2 are in process. As stated during the last month's commission meeting, this effort on pedestrian safety has been one of the many safety focus points for every ACHD project, and it will continue as we work towards the proposed FY21-25 integrated 5-year work plan for your consideration during tonight's commission meeting. And it is also briefed last month. The follow-on citizen proposed GAP projects are addressed in the integrated 5-year work plan recommendations. The staff looks forward to the Commissioner's prioritization of these nominations to move forward after we complete the current set. Moreover, the critical update for the ACHD bike map that continues our strong safe routes to school emphasis and addresses low-stress bikeway networks that I shared with you last month is scheduled for printing in November. In summary, Commissioners, your team continues to meet and exceed your 7 operational requirements, and as I said last month, I do not see this changing. This completes my update, and I'll stand for any questions you might have.
All right. Thank you very much, Director Wong. That's impressive. Quite a lot accomplished. We appreciate everybody's efforts on seeing these projects to fruition. Commissioners, any comments or questions for Director Wong? No?
Okay, well, Commissioner,
Right.
with that, it is 6 o'clock.
Thank you very much. All right, we'll transition here. All right, 6 o'clock. I will now call our meeting to order. Welcome to our September 23rd Commission meeting. And Director Wong, if you would please lead us in the pledge.
Thank you. If you'd all stand, please, and follow me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
United States of
to the
America,
republic for which it stands, one nation, under
one
God,
nation,
indivisible,
under God,
with liberty and
indivisible,
justice.
with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you very much. Welcome again, everyone. This evening, we are recognizing Dean Cooper. He is ACHD Safety and Training Coordinator, and we are recognizing him and applauding his outstanding efforts on ensuring ACHD continues to maintain a safe working environment across all organizations and within all equipment, project, traffic ops, and maintenance operations. Moreover, our pre-departure safety sessions, as well as his weekly safety tips, have unquestionably resulted in ACHD's low accident and incident rates and have been instrumental in ACHD's lowered workmen's compensation rates, as well as our very low insurance requirements. Dean, on behalf of the entire team, thank you for your hard work and dedication. We appreciate all that you do. All right. Our first order of business is to adopt our agenda. Is there a motion?
So moved. Second.
All right, we have a motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right, motion carries. Consent agenda. Items on the consent agenda are considered to be routine and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion on these items unless a commissioner or a citizen so requests, in which case the item will be removed from the consent agenda and placed on the regular agenda. All consent agenda items are commission action items unless noted. Do we have a motion?
Madam President, I move approval of the consent agenda.
All right, thank you. We have a motion. Is there a second?
Yes, second.
All right, we have a motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right, motion carries. Thank you very much. The first item this evening on our regular agenda, Resolution 2328, Community Programs, Net Surplus Revenue Request for Adoption. And with that, we will hear from Mr. Price.
Good evening,
Welcome,
Commissioners.
Mr. Price.
For the record, Steve Price, General Counsel. On September 9th, at that time, we were considering a report actually on the sale of some surplus property, and there was at that time realized some additional surplus funds. Commissioner Arnold had requested for staff, the director and staff, to come back with a resolution proposing to dedicate those funds to community programs. And the resolution before you does that. So that, by way of introduction, that's the background of the resolution, and that's what we did. So we did our job. We came back with what we were directed to do. And
Very good. We appreciate
I'll stand for any
the
questions.
quick turnaround. All right. Thank you, Mr. Price. Commissioners, any questions, please, for Mr. Price? All right. Hearing none, do we have a motion
Madam Chair,
for
I would
adoption?
move that we,
Commissioner Arnold.
I would move that we approve the resolution as presented, and that's resolution
second that.
number, I just lost it,
2328.
2028. Oh, 2038, sorry.
No, 2328.
Yeah, I was on the wrong page on my agenda.
We have a motion. Thank you, Commissioner Arnold. Is there a second?
Yes,
All right, we have a motion with a second. Any further discussion?
Did anyone want to testify?
No, we didn't have
No
anybody
names
signed
were
up.
forwarded to me.
Nope.
All right. No further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right, motion carries. Thank you very much, Mr. Price. All right, next on our agenda, Resolution 2326, adopting the 2021-2025 Integrated Five-Year Work Plan. This is a request for adoption, and we will hear from staff, Ms. Christy Inselman. Welcome.
Good evening, Commissioners. Give me one moment. Okay. Can you guys all see my presentation?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
So good evening, Madam President, Commissioners. This is Christy Inselman, Senior Transportation Planner with the Planning and Projects Department. I'm here to present the 21-25 Integrated Five-Year Work Plan that was developed in full coordination with partners in the public and in alignment with the adopted budget. Staff's recommendation is to approve Resolution 2326, the adoption of the 21-25 Integrated Five-Year Work Plan as presented. The Integrated Five-Year Work Plan works in support of various ACHD and partner agency foundational planning documents and is the implementation arm for these plans. This slide illustrates how the Integrated Five-Year Work Plan fits into the region's overall planning framework. The purpose of the Integrated Five-Year Work Plan is to implement ACHD's long-range plans, including the strategic plan, neighborhood plans, and bike master plan. The plan sets forth a 5-year integrated and transparent program of projects and planned activities. At the Commission's request, staff met with the Commission early and often throughout the process. Staff has conducted 7 work sessions with the Commission, and that began in January. Our outreach efforts included reaching out to the public, our partner agencies, the cities, school districts, the county, and Boise State, as well as ACHD staff. We held 2 virtual public open houses in March and July. We received a total of 557 partner agency requests. This was an increase of 66 from the previous year. We had held a 5-week comment period from July 16th through August 21st, where we received 65 comments, and most of those were through the online map. The plan contains ACHD's vision, mission, priorities, and strategic plan, an introductory section, implementation metrics, funding plan, and a program of capital projects. This year we created lists of projects within each of the 16 neighborhood planning areas. And of note, we completed 290 neighborhood plan projects, and we currently have 150 of the neighborhood plan projects programmed in the Integrated Five-Year Work Plan. This includes the new bikeway signage program created to implement the low-stress bikeway network. And to conclude, staff is requesting that the Commission approve Resolution 2326, the adoption of the 21-25 Integrated Five-Year Work Plan, and I will stand for any questions.
Thank you, Christy. We appreciate your work and the efforts of all your team. There are a lot of moving parts to this, a lot of input, and a lot of work goes into prioritizing and putting this all together. So we appreciate all the hard work that you have done for this plan for us.
Thank you, Madam President.
Commissioners, does anyone have a question for Christy?
I have a comment, Madam President.
Okay, Commissioner Hanson.
I just want to do a big shout out to the whole staff. I really appreciate every year that the plan gets better and better and more accessible to the neighborhoods and the individuals who we serve. And I just love the layout this year showing how each of the neighborhoods are affected by the plans, because they relate to each other, all these projects. And so it's really good. I'm just thrilled to death that this approach was used as we look at it, and it really makes it more accessible. I think we're going to be successful in inviting and encouraging people get their hands into the details of these projects better, because they're more accessible this way. This and the online tool. So, you know, we're going to end up having a lot more work because more people are going to say, oh, I love this. Now, can you do this? Or I love this. And can you do this? And that's exactly what our job is. So I just really, really want to thank you for this this good work and the way in which this is laid out. Obviously, you know, I have different views on different projects, but as a whole, this continues to be an improvement over previous years' plan. So thank you, Christy and Ryan and everybody else who worked on it.
Absolutely. Kudos to everyone. Thank you very much, Commissioner Hanson. Any other questions or comments, commissioners, for Christy? All right. Hearing none, we do have Clancy Anderson that would like to comment.
Hi, President May and
there he is.
President May and
Welcome, Clancy.
I'd like to I echo much of what Jim said regarding the overall design of this plan, the accessibility, and I think it does fulfill quite a few gaps that have been identified over the past few years. One area that I have concern, and I didn't really plan on speaking until riding with my son. My son has disabilities. He may never drive a car, but he can ride a bike. And the bikeway signage program, you know, we're creating these low stress bikeways. And we're doing it with mostly signs and a little bit of paint. That's marketing. You're trying to get more people on bikes on those areas, and that's good. I mean, I live on one of the streets that is listed. I live on 18th Street. As we're riding home today, you know, I've been working on with him with stop signs. You know, let's stop and look through the stop signs, make sure no traffic's coming. And it's hit and miss. I try to make him do most of it, but really, what a low stress bikeway should be. And it is, if you look in the NACTO guide, it should prioritize people on bikes and probably foot and make cars somewhat a guest. And just adding paint and signs is not going to do that. We need to look at these low stress bikeways, and if we're going to market them and create as low stress, then we need to also make them safe. And those signs and that paint does not always make them safe to do so. So as we go through and implement some of these bikeways, 18th, looks like it's going to be in 2022. I hope that we can have the conversation regarding how we make these safe, not only and not just a marketing tool to get more people out riding bikes on these various routes. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for your comments. We appreciate it. All right. Next, we have Michael Spencer from the city of Boise.
Sorry, we auto-corrected. It's Nicole.
This is Nicole Baird Spencer with the city of Eagle. Commissioners, can you hear me okay?
Oh. Yes, we can. Welcome.
Wonderful. Thank you. Sorry, it was a crazy trip over here. I am in Boise, but I'm testifying for the city of Eagle. 660 East Civic Lane in Boise, in Eagle, Idaho. The city provided you testimony on health as a response to the draft plan that's before you today, and the city has a few extra comments we would like to provide. Additionally, on our list of prioritizations was one project in particular that our council has specific concern about, which is a pedestrian crossing at Eagle Road and Ranch Drive. Under normal circumstances, we would see a significant number of children crossing at this location to access Eagle Elementary School on the west side of Eagle Road at Ranch Drive. As you know, the campus is split. It is both on the north side of the hill as well as the south side of the hill. And what we're seeing is a number of increased incidences or near incidences with students crossing at Ranch Drive, where currently there is only a flag system for crossing. The city would like the ACHD to consider the installation of a PED signal or a rapid flashing beacon at this location. There are multiple issues specific to topography, that there is a hill, a speed change, as well as the school in this location. We've had this item on our prioritization list for the last 5 years and have not seen it move forward into the 5-year work program. And we have great concern for the youngest citizens of the city of Eagle. In addition to that, the city would like to ask ACHD to prioritize, if not in the integrated 5-year work program, but in their planning projects, the development and cooperation with the city, a cross-section for Beacon Light Road between State Highway 16 and State Highway 55. The city is continuing to grow in this area and feels it's very important that we begin talking about what this road's function and design will be. We recognize that it is in your master street map as a 3-lane section, but the right-of-way is much more significant than what a 3-lane section would necessarily call for. So the city would like to have a discussion with ACHD and establish a cross-section unique to Beacon Light Road that can accommodate all users in this area. With that, I'll stand for any questions. Thank you.
Madam President?
All right, thank you, Nicole. I do, just one moment, I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, Ms. Inselman, that Ranch Road, the crossing.
Yeah, Madam President,
No.
Commissioners, yes, that project in response to the City of Eagles letter, we looked at that crossing again, and we added that to the integrated 5-year work plan and the out year. So, and we will look at any opportunity to continue to elevate that one, but we did add it to the plan.
Thank you. We just didn't know what the future meant on the list, so we were just trying to make.
Thank you very much. Okay, very good. Thank you, Nicole. And I think it would be very beneficial to start having some discussions about Beacon Light. That's always has been a topic of concern and interest for a lot of individuals. So look forward to having those going forward. I believe Commissioner Baker had a comment or a question for Nicole? No? I'm sorry.
That's fine. I'm
Okay.
good. Thank you.
All of a sudden we had, okay. Commissioner Goldthorpe?
Yes. A
Comment
suggestion because of
for Nicole?
whoops. A suggestion because of the detail that we went into a few years ago when we went to great lengths to discuss Beacon Light Road. I think before we get really redundant on that, perhaps because there's so many changes in the council in Eagle, that perhaps a meeting can be held to update the council on what did and did not happen. We don't have a 3-lane road with an inordinate amount of right-of-way. We have a 3-lane road that's been preserved for 5, I'm sorry. And probably a good discussion in detail about how that came about would be in order before we start from scratch and do it all over again. Thank you.
Yeah, I think that would be prudent in the discussion going forward. Like I say, we've had a lot of interest and interest and some outreach coming from citizens, and there's been a lot warranted. Thank you, Commissioner Goldthorpe.
Madam President?
Commissioner Baker.
Yeah, I don't have a question. I'm having terrible, it's like lagging or something. You're almost disappearing. It seems like the sound on this transmission isn't very good. So I'd like to ask staff, should I log out and then log back in, or I mean, what's the deal here?
I'm having the same issue.
Madam President, Ken just
Yeah,
said yes, he agreed that she should log out and log back
times,
in.
Commissioner.
It's just lagging so that when Christie speaks, Commissioner May speaks, and I don't think you're speaking at the same time, but that's how it's coming over.
Maybe it's like a 7-second delay on radio.
Something,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's been, yeah.
Madam
Is that on
President.
our individual end, or is that going through Zoom?
Madam President, Commissioner Baker, the internet, I don't know who your internet provider is, but I know that all through town today, with the increased load, that internet has been sketchy throughout. So it's probably just connection issues all through the neighborhoods.
Okay, thank you.
But you might want to try rebooting or logging off, logging back on, and see if that would help it.
It's really Commissioner May that I think I'm having the most problems listening to, so.
Can you hear me now?
Yes?
We're overlapping.
You're just really fuzzy. So, okay, thank you.
Sorry. Maybe I should sign off and sign back on.
Commissioner May, what you might want to do is check the connection with your earbuds on your machine. Just make sure it's plugged in real well. I know that that's been an issue for me.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, well, we'll give it another try here. All right, does anybody have any other comments or questions, please, on the integrated 5-year work plan? Okay, Ms. Spencer, no one else has signed up to comment?
Nope, that was it.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you, Ms. Inselman.
Thank you.
All right, commissioners.
Madam President,
Commissioner Hanson.
I'm hearing an echo, but I just want to note we did get, for the record, recommendations from the Bicycle Advisory Committee about some adjustments. They don't look like major ones, 4 implementation adjustments, and then 1 project in CUNA to move from 22 to 21. Have they been incorporated? I know we received these on August 20th, so that we've had them for a while. Have these been incorporated? I didn't go through and compare notes.
Madam President, Commissioner Hanson, yes. At the September 9th meeting, when I came to you on the community or the comments we've received, we did discuss those comments from the BAC, and the majority of those were implemented into the plan. We adjusted language because that was a couple of their comments. So those were taken care of. We haven't elevated the CUNA one yet. That has been given to the PM to see if there's a possibility of elevating that project. But I do believe all the rest have been incorporated into the final draft.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Any other questions or comments?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Arnold.
I'm prepared to make a motion. I move that we approve Resolution 2326, adopting the FY 2021 through 2025 integrated 5-year work plan.
All right, very good, thank you. Is there a second?
Yes, there is. I'll second that.
All right, commissioners, we have a motion. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? All right, motion carries unanimously. Very.
Madam President, may I make a comment? I meant to be a little quicker.
Commissioner Hanson?
I just want to acknowledge that we did receive notes from the North End Neighborhood Association, and I appreciate them. And at least I would advocate for these things. They're not directly related to specific projects as much as a process. And so I just want to acknowledge and appreciate that they went to the effort of submitting those comments, and I do support those.
All right, absolutely. Thank you very much. Thank you, Ms. Inselman. Motion carried unanimously. That's awesome. All right, our next item on our regular agenda is the North Meridian Neighborhood Pedestrian and Bicycle Plan request for adoption. And we will be hearing from Mr. Edinson Batista. Welcome.
Thank you, Madam President. Let me share my screen really quickly here.
All right.
Can everyone see my screen? Oh, yeah, that's true. Sorry.
We can see it, but we can't hear you very well.
Can you hear me better now? Perfect.
Yes.
Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Edinson Bautista, ACHD Senior Transportation Planner. This evening, I'm presenting to you the final recommendation for the North Meridian Neighborhood Bike and Pedestrian Plan. We spent the past 9 months in the community of Meridian identifying opportunities for enhancement to bike and pedestrian facilities. Staff is confident in the process and the plan produced and recommends the adoption of the North Meridian Neighborhood Bike and Pedestrian Plan as written. In this slide, I present the North Meridian planning area. The North Meridian Neighborhood Bike and Pedestrian Plan includes several, through the process, it went through, it presented a school workshop to 5th and 6th graders, including also an online interactive map, an online open house with surveys, presentation to the city councils, and project emails to staff throughout the entire process. The plan identifies a number of bike and walking improvements, including a low-stress bikeway projects, bike facilities along arterial corridors like 10 Mile and Black Cat, sidewalk projects at gaps throughout the entire network, and crossing projects at key destinations like Meridian Library and Settler Park. A total of 87 projects were identified for the North Meridian Neighborhood Plan. The North Meridian Neighborhood Bike and Pedestrian Plan is a project identification tool. Projects will be evaluated and programmed as part of the Integrated 5-Year Work Plan and the budget process, in close coordination with the City of Meridian and the school district as partners. Staff recommendation is to adopt the North Meridian Neighborhood Bike and Pedestrian Plan as written, and with this I conclude my presentation. I will stand for any questions.
All right, thank you very much, Edinson. Commissioners, any comments or questions for Edinson?
Nope, just
All right, Karina, yeah, good job as always. All right, Ms. Spencer, anyone sign up to comment?
We do not.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you, Edinson. I think you're going to do the next one too, so you might want to hang tight.
Well,
Right.
Madam President, I would move approval of the North Meridian bicycle and pedestrian plan.
Thank you, Commissioner Baker. Is there a second?
I seconded it.
I thought I had heard either Commissioner Hanson or Goldthorpe, but as long as we've got the second. All right, any further discussion? All right, hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries, again unanimously. Very good. Good job, Edinson. All right, our next item, Garden City Neighborhood Pedestrian and Bicycle Plan for Adoption. And we will hear once again, Mr. Batista.
Good evening, Commission. Again, let me share my screen. Boy. Let's see. No. Share. Can't. It's already shareable, right? Okay. And there we go. Okay. Thank you. So again, Commissioners, my name is Edinson Bautista, ACAD Senior Transportation Planner. I'm presenting to you the final recommendation for the Garden City Neighborhood Bike and Pedestrian Plan. We spent the past 9 months in the city of Garden City identifying opportunities for enhancements to bike and pedestrian facilities. Staff is confident in the process and the plan produced and recommends the adoption of the Garden City Neighborhood Bike and Pedestrian Plan as written. As a reminder, this is the Garden City planning area. The public outreach process consisting in a school workshop with 5th and 6th graders, online public open house, an online common map, city council presentations, and direct emails to staff throughout the entire planning process. On September 8th, ACHD Commission received a letter from Garden City requesting additional modification to the draft plan. The following modifications were incorporated as a result of this request. Addition of the Garden City artisan pathway map in reference to the map. A clarification statement regarding the project identifications and review of the safe route to school projects. Additional language regarding high traffic areas and lack of facility as part of the identified barriers. And additional of the Settler Canal Pathway project as a Garden City jurisdiction project. Ahead of today's adoption hearing, the Commission and staff received a request to add Marigold Street from Glenwood Street to Gary Street to improve existing bike lanes to meet ACHD standards. After its review, staff considered appropriate the addition of the project and incorporated this segment as part of the final Garden City neighborhood plan. The plan identifies a number of bike and walk improvements, including a low-stress bikeway projects, bike facilities along the corridor like Adams Street, sidewalk projects throughout East Garden City, and crossing at key locations like Chinden and 43rd Street and 33rd Street. The complete project list consists of a total of 44 projects, where 9 are bike projects, 30 sidewalk projects, 2 crossing projects, and 3 shared use pathways. The Garden City Neighborhood Bike and Pedestrian Plan is a project identification tool. Projects will be evaluated and programmed as part of the Integrated 5-Year Work Plan and the budget process, in close coordination with Garden City and the school district as partners. Staff recommendation is to adopt the Garden City Neighborhood Bike and Pedestrian Plan as written. And with this, I conclude my presentation and stand for any questions.
All right, thank you, Edinson. Appreciate it. I'm glad to see that we were able to accommodate the Marigold bike lanes. I think that was important to have incorporated into the plan. Thank you for doing that. Commissioners, any questions for Edinson?
Madam President?
Commissioner Goldthorpe.
I just wanted to reiterate what Commissioner May just said. I know that Gary had this recommendation a little bit on the late side, but it looked very important to me as well, and I figured that somebody would bring it up, and I'm glad they did, so I don't have to tonight. Thank you very much.
Madam President.
I agree with you. Thank you, Commissioner Goldthorpe. Commissioner Hanson.
Yeah, just follow. I just wanted to clarify with Edinson. So when you said you're incorporating the Marigold, it's the request to widen it so it's consistent with a level 2 bike. Correct? Is that because what he's asking for is not just to have a bike lane, but to designate it as a level 2. It has to be 5 feet, so it has to function as a major and safe route. So is that what's incorporated?
Correct, Commissioner, Madam President, Commissioner Hanson, that's correct.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you, Commissioner Hanson. Any other questions or comments for Edson? All right, and Ms. Spencer, no one else has signed up, correct?
We have had nobody sign up for comment.
All right, thank you very much. All
Madam
right,
Chair.
Edson, thank you. Oh, Commissioner Arnold.
I was just going to make the motion to adopt the Garden City Neighborhood Bike and Pedestrian Plan as presented with the updates to Marigold and the other requests that Garden City made.
Second.
All right, we have a motion. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? All right, motion carries. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
4 for 4. Thank you very much, Edmondson. All right, that concludes all the items we had on our regular agenda. It takes us into public communications. Again, Ms. Spencer, anybody like to address the commission?
We are good for tonight.
All right, we are good. We're good to go. Good meeting, commissioners. Thank you very much. It's good to get those items all approved and on your way. Enjoy the rest of your evening. We stand adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.